A man kisses his partner behind her young daughter, who is sorting some glasses. The mother complains about his attitude and says that he shouldn't do that next to her daughter. Suddenly, the daughter asks her mother if that looks okay to her. The mother says that her arrangement looks perfect. The young man says that the orange glass looks a bit off to him. The girl then becomes distracted with the glasses arrangement once more, giving the man another chance to kiss his lover. The young woman then turns around and tells her partner that she's done, nearly catching them at it. The young man then says that he's glad it's finally his turn because he always wins. The mother-in-law then says that she's going to leave for a bit because she's not feeling really well. Her son-in-law asks if she's sure about it. He says that he can help her out if she needs him. She thanks him for his kindness and says that she's all right and that she's only going to her house for a bit, and that they can continue enjoying themselves. The daughter asks her mother if she's sure about that. The mother says that she's fine and walks away. The daughter then tells her partner that she finds her mother's behavior really odd and that she never acted like that. She says that she's going to check if she's really okay. Her partner tries to stop her and says that there's no need. He says that his mother-in-law might be just a bit tired and that they can't waste their great time together. The girl then agrees to stay. She tells him that if she wins, he will have to accept her challenge. The partner agrees. Days later, the young man knocks at his mother-in-law's door. She goes outside and slaps his face. She grabs him by his shirt and pushes him out. The confused young man asks what's the matter with her. She tells him that that kind of thing isn't going to repeat. The young man laughs at her. She tells him to get that stupid grin out of his face because she's being serious and that she hates people like him. He says that she's going to tell everyone about his behavior. He then chokes her and pushes her against the wall. He says that she won't say anything because he knows he casts a spell on her with his kiss. He tries to get more intimate, but suddenly, his partner calls him, which makes him stop. She approaches him and says that she's ready to go. He pretends that everything's all right and says that he was having a nice chat with his mother-in-law. His partner appears to be pleased about it and asks what they were talking about. The mother-in-law says that they were talking about dreams. The partner confirms and says that his mother-in-law is a very dreamy person. The young man says that he's going then. The mother-in-law wishes them a good one. The young man then secretly leaves a note with his mother-in-law. She checks the note that says that he will be waiting for him in his office that night. She smells it and appears to be really pleased with the message. Later, the young man is doing push-ups in his office, and then his mother-in-law enters in. He gets up and says that he knew she would come, and they start to kiss passionately. Days later, the young man is kissing his official partner at his mother-in-law's house. The mother-in-law approaches and sees them doing it. She tells them to stop and says that she can't tolerate them doing that sort of thing in her house because it's immoral. The daughter says that it's nothing immoral, just a kiss. The mother tells her daughter that she's going to get rid of Camilo. She tries to evict him from her house, but the daughter refuses to let him go. She says that they were just kissing and tells her mother to be reasonable. The mother says that she's her mother and that she's not entitled to disagree with her decisions. They start to argue. Camilo tells them to calm down because they shouldn't be fighting. Camilo asks his partner to have a word with her mother to sort everything out. His partner tells him to tell her to give her head a wobble. Away from his partner, Camilo asks his mother-in-law the whys of her odd behavior. The woman says that she can't admit that she's kissing her daughter in her own house. She says that now she understands the stupidity of having an affair with her daughter's partner. Camilo says that they couldn't help because they really love each other. He says that he was just waiting for the right time to tell her that he prefers her. The mother-in-law asks if he's being serious. Camilo confirms this and says that she's the one he really loves and that they should carry on with their affair. They then return to the living room. Camilo tells his partner that he sorted it out with her mother and that they should really avoid something in her mother's house. The mother says that she's sorry about her overreaction and that she was only being protective. The daughter says that she understands but that she should respect her relationship. Camilo then suggests that they should forget that whole subject and instead eat something. His partner then says that it's a great idea and invites her mother. The mother refuses and says that she would rather stay at home. The daughter then says that she understands it and walks away with her partner, telling him that she knows about a place that serves delicious food. Days later, Camillo approaches his mother-in-law's house again. She goes outside and sees him holding a tiny flower pot. She says that she supposes it's for her daughter and, not very pleased, says that she's going to call her. Camillo tells her to wait because that one is for her. She asks if he's being serious. Camillo says that he can't hide his feelings any longer and that they should tell everything to her daughter, Julia. Suddenly, his partner, Julia, approaches and asks what he's doing there. Camillo says that he was missing her. She smiles. She notices that her mother is holding a tiny plant. She asks her where she got it. Camillo says that he wanted to ask the same. He says that it must be one of his mother-in-law's lovers. The mother-in-law says that Camillo is right and that someone who secretly loves her left it in front of her house. The daughter tells her mother that she's cheeky and that she didn't know that she had lovers. She says that one day they could double date. Camillo says that it's not exactly a great idea because her mother can be embarrassed. Julia then invites Camillo to go inside to spend some time with her, watch a film or something. Camillo then agrees and follows her inside. Julia's mother looks at her tiny plant and smiles. Some days later, at night, Camillo arrives at his mother-in-law's house to pick her up. He asks if she's really ready for their romantic trip. The woman says that she's indeed him and that he's the man of her dreams. She says that she has a very strong feeling for him, something that she never felt before, and that he's certainly the love of her life. She kisses him. Camillo says that it's reciprocal because she's the woman of his life. He tells her that he promises she won't regret it. Suddenly, the daughter walks outside and catches them kissing each other. She asks why they are kissing each other. Her mother admits that she fell in love. Her daughter slaps her and asks how she was capable of having an affair with her fiancé. She asks what's the matter with her. She also asks her fiancé what he has to say about it. Camillo says that he has fancied her mother since the beginning and that it was his intention to stay with her because she's a proper woman. The weeping young woman slaps him and says that she doesn't want to see them anymore. She says that she really hates both of them and asks her mother how she had the guts to fall in love with her fiancé. She tells her mother that one day Camillo will certainly leave her for a young woman and tells them to get lost. She walks away, feeling despondent and deceived. Camillo tells his mother-in-law to relax because Julia will understand it soon and forgive her. Julia's mother says that she lived her life for her daughter and that now she deserves to live a happy life with him. She says that her daughter will have to understand it. Camillo agrees and tells her to relax because she's going to forgive her very soon. He opens his car to his mother-in-law. Suddenly, a man named Fernando gets out of the car and surprises Camillo's mother-in-law. Fernando greets Alexandra, Camillo's mother-in-law, and asks how she's doing. Alexandra, very surprised, asks what he's doing there. Fernando congratulates Camillo and says that he's a great actor and that he did a brilliant job for him. He says that he managed to make a cheater fall in love. Alexandra asks what he's talking about. Fernando tells her to admit the number of times she cheated. He says that it's only fair to make her feel a bit like he has felt many times. Alexandra then tells Camillo that it's true that she's in love with Camillo and that it's reciprocal. Camillo says that he's capable of anything if it's well paid. Fernando calls Camillo to the pub to celebrate their great job. Fernando tells his ex-partner that karma is a thing and tells Camillo to drive off. Alexandra breaks down, gets on her knees, and says that she lost everything.